There are moments in this book where I'm like, just bleeding hearts. Just bleeding hearts. I'm putting you onto the series if you have not read it. I tell you, Hot Girl Summer, only good girls here. Well, good and naughty girls here, okay? Hi wonderful people and welcome back to my channel Book Careers. I am Giselle. How are you? What's up? What is the scene? Summer is here. The favorite time of the year is here because I love the sunshine. This is my time. So in today's video, I am bringing you 7 hot gal books to read this summer. Yes, hot Gyal. I said it. And that means these are heroines that have a little edge to them. They have a little something. They have a little extra. These heroines were able to overcome whatever obstacles that was placed before them. Nothing held them back from doing what they needed to do. And I love a female main character like that. So these are my hot gal books. These just thinking about them. First up, we have Dirty Flowers by Wright. This is the most recent addition to the Lion and the Mouse series. If you have not been following that series, then sis, no, you need to get on to the series. I'm putting you onto the series if you have not read it. And if you have read it and you're up to date, comment down below, because Dirty Flowers, it wasn't what I was expecting and it was so good. So yes, this book continues to follow Casimir and Emily. We get to see the dark side of Emily. We meet Emily and Casimir from book 1. Right? This is book 7.5 in the series, but there are more books in the series. And we meet them in this book right here. We meet them in Dirty Kisses. From previous books, this is just a little background, okay? From previous books, we realize that Emily has 2 personalities. So we have Dark M and we have the regular Emily. And Dark M decides she wants to come out to play. She wants to have love too. She wants to experience love. And so she starts to fall for someone on their compound and decides to engage in activities. And when Casimir found out, all hell broke loose. But Dark M wasn't taking it like that. She played tit for tat. If he harmed someone, she would harm someone that's close to him. So he was like all hands off. And also we had Emily. She was like, yo, something is wrong with my bud. She had no idea what Dark Emily did. And when she discovered what happened, she tried to hide it from Casimir. She can't hide nothing from Casimir. Casimir is Casimir. There's no hiding nothing from Casimir. So this book, I laughed. I didn't cry, but I laughed because it was just hilarious with what Emily was doing. The lengths that she took to try to protect family of the person that Dark M had dirty activities with. Like, we had new characters coming in that is definitely going to give us some excitement in book 8, because I can't wait for book 8 to drop later down this year. Only hot gals here. Only hot girls here in this mix. So you definitely need to read this if you have been following the series. And if you have not, you need to start from book 1. You cannot jump into this book just like this. You have to follow the entire series. Okay? This book. I love this book. Sophia by Keta, Kendric. Oh my god. Y'all know how much I love Quiet Chaos. This is giving Quiet Chaos a run for its money. I absolutely adore the Twisted series, the entire series. This book is giving it a run for its money. And I just found out more books in this series. So this is just book 1, and it is a complete standalone. We meet Jade, and she's the daughter of a kingpin. She witnessed something very traumatic. However, she hasn't shared what she experienced with anyone. And then we meet Sophia. Sophia, he's part of an MC, and we got a little taste of Sophia in this book right here, Carolina Reaper. And so now Sophia has his own book. On top of that, Sophia had something very traumatic happen to him as a young child. He is in this MC. He is also an assassin. This MC is part of this secret organization, and he's given the task to assassinate Jade. So he goes looking for Jade. He finds Jade. He observes his mark, only to realize that, the evidence that this organization gave me doesn't line up with what I am seeing. So when someone tries to take out Jade, he's like, what? Hell no. And he takes out that individual before they can take out Jade. He's like, something is up here. Something isn't right. And so he decides he's going to take her back to their compound. He doesn't talk a lot. He is very standoffish, and everyone sees him as a psychopath because of the things that he does. But for some reason, Jade, she's able to see beyond the facade. She's able to see what no one else can see. And so everyone is shocked. They're like, how is she still alive? How is it that he is so close to her? And so they have everybody tripping on the MC compound in Carolina. I'm like, listen, this book, there are parts in this book that I got very teary-eyed. Like, yeah. And there are moments in this book where I'm like, just bleeding hearts. I love when a book can do that for me. I'm always looking for a book that will just like pull and rip out my heartstrings. I love it. This book comes with triggers, yo. I forgot to mention that Dirty Flowers also has triggers. This one, Sophia, has triggers. Listen, once you see that trigger warning, that content warning, pay heed. Please pay heed. If you have been following me on this platform here, then you know I absolutely love Friendzone by Evelyn Sola. Friendzone. Just think about that. Now, you don't really have any content warning for this one, so this is for my lighter girls. Everyone, whether you are a dark romance reader like myself, or you like them cute and light, but with an edge to it, then this is the one for you to devour, for you just to take your time and sit down and enjoy. In Friendzones, we meet Janine and Aiden. They meet at a wedding, and they had such a good time. Janine, she's getting over her divorce. She's finally finding herself. She's doing all these self-help things to get her to where she wants to be. Aiden, he is a coach of the basketball team, the Mischief. He's also a billionaire. He's also the heir to this big trust. So he's rolling in dough, but he loves basketball. That is his passion. And so that is what he's sticking with. All right. And they meet, they hit it off, and she friend zones Aiden. She's like, listen, I'm not ready for this. I am getting out of this like messy situation. I'm trying to find myself, build myself. And Aiden is like, okay, you do you. But I'm going to wear you down. I am not going anywhere. You want to friend zone me? Fine, friend zone me. But no, eventually, I'm not always going to be your friend. This book, the spice in this book is so nice. The side characters in this book, mwah. The side characters, like one, I loved her. I was vibing so much with Layla. And I'm like, you know what, Layla? Girl, you better get your own book. And then we had another friend, Leah. And I'm like, Leah, hello, you're not a friend. You are not a friend of Janine. And then we have Carmen. I'm like, Carmen, you lucky I wasn't part of that book, because I would have whooped your ass. All right. And then we have her ex. Her ex. He got what was coming to him. And I loved how Aiden handled that situation, yo. It sounds messy, but it's not messy. Not really. It just flowed very well. So if you enjoy books by Evelyn Sola, if you have read Defeated, listen, any of her books, you are definitely going to love this one. I tell you, hot girl summer, only good girls here. Well, good and naughty girls here, okay? Y'all, this book here, Misdeeds of a Billionaire, this might be a shocker to some of you all. It might be a bit of a shocker, but I love the heroine in this one. Audette, she is studying to be a doctor. She wants to follow in her father's footsteps. She meets this guy. He's the wrong guy for her. She's like, you know what? I want to live spontaneous, right? I need to get out there. And so she got out there and she hooked up with Bryden. Only to wake up the next morning, Bryden is not there, but his father is there. And he's giving her these threats. And by the time she gets to her dad's hospital, everything is in chaos. And exactly what his dad said, he did. And she lost so much, only to find out that she was pregnant. She wanted nothing to do with that family because of what Brian's father said and did. Fast forward a few years after, she has his son. She's on the run from some mafia dudes. Brian comes in the picture and they have a wonderful second chance. Sounds simple, right? No. There was so much heartbreak in this book. This is also a marriage of convenience, more like a forced marriage of convenience. And what I absolutely loved about this are the characters. Because you know how some billionaires, especially when it comes to arranged marriages, how they can just be so ugly, how they can just be so nasty and have terrible personalities. That's not the case with Brian, okay? That's not his situation. He's like, yes, he's assertive, but he's also charismatic and he's also sweet and he's also caring. And when he finds out that he has a son, he doesn't try to spite Audette. He's not spiteful, but he's like, you know what? I understand. And I want us to move forward. And the reason why this book made this list is because Audette, she's strong. And when life knocked her down, she tried to get back up. She did what she had to do to survive. And she was willing to continue living her life. And she was able to achieve her dreams despite her situation, despite what Brian's father did. So, Audette, she is a hot gal in my book because she wasn't playing. When it came to protecting those that she loved, she would sacrifice whatever she had to sacrifice to protect those that she loved. So, kudos to Audette. She could be my friend any day. She's a hot girl that I would want to have my back. No. Are you surprised? Are you surprised? Okay, so entrust me, we meet Kyle. And Kyle is the son of Patience and Aaron from Aaron's Patience. So everyone that read Aaron's Patience, yo, make sure and read, trust me, because this is their legacy. This is the legacy series. So we're going to see all the kids from all the couples in the Thousands of Williamport's series. So we meet Kyle. But listen, this is hot gal. So we have Riley. And in this book, Riley, she is sent to spy on Kyle. And let me just say, Kyle is very much like his father. Very business savvy, but you don't want to rub him the wrong way. Otherwise, he comes back swinging, okay? He's not as bad as Aaron, but he has some of his qualities. Riley, she grew up with her dad. Her dad, criminal stuff. Her brother engages in criminal stuff too, and she's trying to get out of that. She did get out of it, but it came at a cost. And now someone is blackmailing her. What they're holding over her head, what they're using to blackmail her with, it's really terrible. I'm not going to give you any spoilers. It's really bad. So she has to do what they want her to do. She's there spying on Kyle, getting whatever information she can. But Kyle, he's like, I know I shouldn't want you, but I want you. And when Kyle finds out that she's spying, he forces this marriage. So you have a marriage of revenge. You have a fake relationship. You have a blackmail. This is also an interracial book as well. Let me just say, Riley, because she grew up very tough, you don't play with Riley. I'm just saying you don't play with Riley. And watching when a guy refuses to admit his feelings, he knows he's falling in love. He knows he wants you, but he still wants to fight your feelings. That was Kyle. That was Kyle. Love it. Trust me. Trust me. I got you. I got you with these recommendations. Now, if you watched my last video, you would know that I read The Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. And I wanted to see what the hype was. And believe me, it's worth it. But this book, it is so worth it. I love Violet. Now again, we're talking about hot gal here. And Violet, she was the underdog. So in The Fourth Wing, it's all about this type of training academy, a training college where they go and they learn to ride dragons. They bond with the dragons, they get powers, and so they're able to go out as soldiers to defend their city. And Violet, she was trained to be a scribe, and that scribe is equivalent to being a librarian, where they are literally documenting and keeping records of everything that is happening in their city or in their world. We don't get a lot of world building in this book. We don't get a lot of that type of hierarchy system, history system. We get bits and pieces and a lot more to the end. But Violet, her mother, forces her to become a dragon rider. People have been training their entire life to become a dragon rider, and she received like 6 months training before she's entered into the college, the academy. And Violet, she has issues that makes her more fragile, that makes her weaker than everyone else. But she's able to overcome that. On top of that, this is your enemies to lovers. His parents were executed for betrayal. And now he is like the strongest, most powerful, most ruthless person there at the college. But most importantly, every obstacle, every challenge that Violet faces, that she's given, she finds a way to overcome. She is quick-witted. She's smart. She has a great, unbreakable spirit. She has perseverance, and that is why she's a hot gal. That is why Violet is a hot gal, because I love heroines when faced with adversities. They're able to overcome it. They're able to break it down, see what it is, and proceed. And that is what Violet did. This story, it is so adventurous. There's so much action. This is one where you're reading, you're cheering, you're screaming. And when you reach the end, you're like, what the hell? Because you realize a lot of the things were lies. There's so much lies and deceit. The excitement that you get while reading this book, it's all there. It's all there. And last up, we have Sinner's Perdition by Bianca Borell. And this book took me by surprise. This is your enemies to lovers arranged marriage where he falls first. So this is your whole mafia crime organization. We have Keta. Keta, he is going to be the head of their crime organization, but he's also part of a syndicate. And on top of that, they are trying to overthrow their fathers. There's a lot of inner workings of stuff happening in this book. But most importantly, we have Chiara. And Chiara, she is your spitfire. She she has attitudes for days, for months, for years. She was sent to this boarding school, and now that she's back, she has to get married to Keta. She doesn't have a choice about it. She hates it. She tried to run away, which resulted in her friend getting kidnapped. So there are parts of this book that is connected to the previous book, to book one in the series. I'll put up the cover for book one. So it's very tied together. You don't necessarily have to read book one to read book two. It's a standalone. But if you're like me, I always like to go in with book one first and then read book two. I love when a heroine or a main female character don't take things lying down, and she didn't. So she tried to run away. She tried to sabotage. She did everything that she could possibly do to get out of this marriage. And Keta wasn't having it. He wasn't having it. He gave her the freedom to do whatever she wanted, but he wasn't having it. He's like, mm-mm. And the more she was like, no, we're not getting married. No, I'm not going to marry you. No, this is not going to happen. No, I'd rather die first than marry you. Like, she has all of that type of sass. And he's like, yeah, he just fell harder. He just fell harder. He didn't want anyone submissive. So he got the firecracker that he wanted. I enjoyed the back and forth between this volcanic couple, and most importantly, Chiara's unwillingness to succumb to her situation. But listen, I love, don't get me wrong, but I did like Keta, right? He's your kind of silent type. He wasn't a bully or abusive about the situation. He's like, listen, this is what it is, okay? This book, it is so good. Now, some people might, find that I can handle Chiara's brattiness, because she is a brat. She's not a spoiled brat, but she's a brat. But when you find out what happened to her, you're going to say, okay, it all makes sense. It all makes sense. Okay, so these are my 7 hot girl must-read books for this summer. If you have read any of these already, hey, let me know down below. And if you have not, read it and come back and let me know if you enjoyed it, if you enjoyed these heroines, because I love them. I love them so much. So thank you so much for watching my video. And if you'd like a part 2, because you know your girl is always reading, if you want a part 2 to this video, you know what to do, and look out until I post another video.